All right, everybody, let's get down to brass tacks here. Sorry I'm late. My partner in crime, B2, had a messy poop I had to deal with. But we are on to talk about the Australian Open and mostly to talk about the Australian Open draw, okay? And the marquee matchups that are coming up in the first couple of rounds. And I want to get your feedback on who are you liking at this year's Australian Open? Who do you see winning it? If Djokovic is in it or not in it, who do you see on the women's side? I think the women's side has a lot of intrigue, a lot of great matchups. So, so good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well out there. Before we get into the draw, let's just kind of get the elephant. That is good. That is tasty. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Novak Djokovic has a big hearing today. What is your take? Do you think that they can make this, that they can turn this around? Can the Djokovic lawyer team turn this around and get him to be able to at least stay and play before they kick him out? Bhaskar, how are you, my friend? What do you think? What is your call, Bhaskar? Maybe you could be the first one to chime in on this. Do you think Djokovic is going to be able to turn this around and stay in the country, or is he out? He is out of the tournament. Is this official, or is this just your prediction? Because I have not seen an official he is out yet. It's interesting. One lawyer I saw being interviewed, his prediction was he's going to get some kind of injunction. The lawyers are going to be able to delay it in some way. And that way Djokovic will get to stay till, the tournament's over to like the end of the month. And then the Australian authorities can kick him out in March. So kind of everybody gets their way, so to speak. I don't know. That was his thought. Okay, so that's Bhaskar's prediction. But I thought that was pretty interesting and kind of apropos. That's kind of the way that a lot of these things go, is everybody tries to save face and make the most amount of people happy, even though we know there's going to be a lot of upset people on both sides, no matter how this thing goes. But I just think if you're strictly talking from, and I know this sounds bad, but if you're talking from an entertainment perspective, you're talking from a tennis perspective, it certainly would be very interesting if Djokovic is allowed to stay and play, and it might be the most watched tennis event of all time. Do you guys agree with that? If he's not allowed to stay and play, I think a lot of interest from non-tennis folk, all of a sudden they're not so interested. But, everybody likes to watch a train wreck. And I think if Djokovic goes out there and plays, it's going to be ugly. I think a lot of people are going to be cheering for him. I think a lot of people are going to be booing against him. And we'll probably have never seen anything like this ever. So stay tuned. All right, enough of that. My prediction is I think somehow they're going to figure out a way to let him stay and play. That's just my prediction. I don't think he's going to be kicked out. I think he's going to play somehow. So we'll see. All right, what I want to do, though, is I want to get into tennis. I want to talk about tennis. Okay, Bhaskar says his pick is Danny Medvedev to win, but my favorite is Stefanos. I like Stefanos a lot, too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Australian Open draw. We'll go through the men's singles first, and we're going to go through key matchups, and then we're going to go through the women's draw. So we're going to go through both men's and women's draw. I definitely want a lot of interaction with you guys. I want you guys to give me your predictions, what you think. There's going to be a lot of names. I'm just going to say it right out front. Don't get mad at me for mispronouncing names. Yes, I know it's terrible, but I'm not up to speed on a lot of these names and how to pronounce them correctly. Okay, I'm a tennis coach. I am not a tennis announcer. And, a lot of these people in the draw, I don't really know that well. So we're going to go through there. Now, a lot of people in the draw I do know. All right, share screen. Here we go. Sharing the screen. And I'm going to put, okay, so let me know if you guys can see this right here. we'll blow it up too. We'll make it bigger for everybody to see. Hide this. We're going to go up to the Will It or Won't It Happen match. Novak Djokovic is in the draw, which is pretty amazing that all this has happened, and yet he somehow ends up in the draw, and he's going to play a fellow countryman, which is really weird. Okay, that's I don't know how you say his name, Keo Maknanovic, maybe. I've never heard of the guy. I think that's pretty good for Djokovic that he gets to go and play a fellow countryman that he probably can just wipe the floor with, and probably be a friendly crowd. You'll have a lot of Serbians there cheering on both players. So if the first round match happens, this is going to be a dream for the nightmare that Novak finds himself in. But this is the big if. Is this match going to happen? What say you? Let me come back and let me just see what you guys are saying about this. First round matchup is going to happen. My pick. Leach says, hi from Germany. Okay, we'll go right back into the draw. The next matchup is a who cares. I know Tommy Paul's an American. He's pretty good, but I don't think they're really going to have an impact on the tournament. This is kind of interesting. Sam Querrey, obviously a journeyman pro, versus Sonego, who is, I think, really awesome. I'm surprised that he never gets his ranking higher. A lot of talent. I think that these players, both of these players can be dangerous for an upset. Like they can upset a big player if they're really, really on, though. Okay, they have to be really on their game, and their opponents have to be off their game a little bit. But they're both dangerous. I certainly think that Sonego has a much bigger upside than Querrey at this point, and I really like his game. It'd be cool to see him go far, but I don't think he's going to be much of a factor. Gil Monfils started off with a good year, so always fun to watch, always dangerous. So he's one to watch for some upsets. I think at this point also in his career, though, to think that he can go all the way and win a major, probably not going to happen. But let's face it, the longer that Monfils stays in the draw, there are certain people you want to stay in the draw so that the tournament is fun to watch and entertaining. When players like Monfils drop out and things like that keep happening, all of a sudden the tournament can become very boring because there's players that are not that interesting, don't have much personality, you've never heard of them. So we don't want that to happen. Bublik is another one who very entertaining. Kind of like Monfils. He'd almost rather entertain the crowd than win matches, and he's got tons of talent. A lot of people would like to see him win more, but you never know what he's going to do. He could have an easy forehand put away, and he'll try and hit a drop shot like 1 inch over the net and lose the point. Delbonis, Martinez, no one really cares. Both good players. Everybody in the draw is a good player. Garin, 16th seed. I don't know if you guys are excited about him. This is the first matchup that I'm looking at. Norrie versus Korda, where I'm like, this is exciting. Cam Norrie, who is just a workhorse, had an amazing year. At one point in the year last year, he had the most wins on the tour. So this guy plays a lot of matches. He's super fit. He's super solid. He's not going to beat himself. And he's playing Korda, who is, we know, Peter Korda's son. Sebastian is a really exciting player. To me, has yet to really live up to his potential. He shows flashes of brilliance, but then he can also lose to people that he shouldn't lose to. Okay. Luca Poi, these are not really sticking out to me. Fognini's always exciting. He's another one, again, that I was mentioning earlier. You want to see Fognini stay in the draw as long as possible. He's good for a shot you've never seen in your life. He's good for blowing up and getting angry and being very entertaining. You want to see this guy last in the draw as long as possible, but no serious threat. Carreño Busta. Now, Busta, I believe, was who was playing. So he's very solid. He could go far. The 19th seed, he could easily be in the top 10. This guy's dangerous. He was playing Novak Djokovic, I think, in the quarterfinal match and was up a set when Djokovic lost his temper and hit that ball and hit the linesman. Another big gaffe by Djokovic that's really hurt his reputation, and he was defaulted. I believe he's playing Busta. So look out for Busta. It's interesting. 19 seed obviously has not been hot lately, but when he gets hot, he makes a lot of balls. You're going to have to beat him, and he also can come up with some great shots. Alcaraz, one of the most exciting players out there. This guy is really awesome. Big forehand, kind of like a Federer forehand, can hit through the court, hit winners. Lots of touch, lots of speed, lots of power, lots of flash, lots of upside. Young guy. I think he's only 19 years old right now. 31 seed. He could, if he gets hot, he could go deep. He could beat anybody. Vukovic and Lajovic. Very good. Very good matchup. Very good first-round matchup. If you're a tennis fan, you're excited about this match. You'll watch it. If you don't know anything about tennis, you've never heard of these two players. They're very, very good, solid players. The next round, we don't really care about. I don't think so. Berrettini versus Nakashima. This could be a good match. Berrettini, 7th seed, but he is also very interesting to me where he gets super hot, wins a ton of matches, and then falls off and loses. I just don't know where Berrettini's game is at in the new year. So I think that this could potentially be a tough match for him. A dark horse upset potential. Probably not, but you never know. Zverev is playing on fellow countrymen. Zverev is starting to get really rock solid. There was a time where, again, kind of like Berrettini, didn't know what you were going to get. Even worse, like at one point, Zverev was in the top 10, and he said that his confidence level was at a 0. He said his confidence level was at a 0. He would lose to all kinds of players. You just didn't know what was going to happen. He's completely turned that around. His confidence is very high. He's played so awesome. Look for him to go very, very deep, especially if Djokovic is somehow kicked out, which in all likelihood, he probably will be. Zverev could win. Zverev definitely is knocking on the door to win a major. So look out for Zverev. Feliciano Lopez. Hey, people love Feliciano Lopez. He's still going. He always acts like he's going to retire, but yet you always see him in the draw. Millman, he's a journeyman from Australia. He's another tough out. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. Again, if you know tennis, you're kind of excited about this matchup because of the contrast in styles. Feliciano Lopez, big lefty serve, likes to come to the net, has a beautiful slice backhand, a very attacking player. Millman, awesome counterpuncher. He's going to make you stay out there forever, make a million balls, solid passing shots. This could be a very entertaining match. So two players, not really a threat in the draw, but if they're showing it on TV, if you can find this on TV, watch it. It should be pretty good. Nishioka, tough player, but not really worth talking about. Lloyd Harris, he's like borderline talking about. He seems to be getting better and better, but has never really been a big threat at the majors. Wouldn't be surprised to see him break through at some point this year. Lloyd Harris, a very fun player to watch. Here's another fun matchup. If you like big serving, Riley Opelka, who's just been coming on stronger and stronger, had a great year last year, versus Kevin Anderson, another journeyman who, had to deal with a lot of injuries. And at one point in his career, he was able to put it all together and be a top 5 player, get to the finals of the U.S. Open, get to the finals of Wimbledon. So this guy has a lot of big wins under his belt, but he's having trouble winning matches on the tour at the moment. And this is just going to be an all-out serve fest. Riley Opelka, bigger serve, maybe ground strokes not as good. Kevin Anderson, huge serve, not as big as Opelka, much more solid off the baseline, but getting old I don't think he's very high in his confidence right now. I look for Opelka to get through that match. Let's see here. Nothing really worth talking about. Shapovalov, Shapo, another 14th seed. So he was starting to play top 10 tennis, especially in the clay court season leading up to the French Open. He looked really, really tough. He's another guy who you just kind of go, when is he going to put it all together? He does flashes of this. Lots of people, when they first saw him come out and beat Rafa Nadal, they thought this guy could be #1 in the world someday, or at least top 5. But it turns out, it seems like he's just got a little bit too much flash. His passion, which is part of his strength, is also his weakness. He seems to be too much of a hothead at times and can't get his thoughts together and play the right shot at the right time. He's good for a double fault here and there. So Shapo, what's he going to do this year? Still young enough to turn it around, certainly talented enough to turn it around. Another guy you don't want to see go out early. When a guy like Shapovalov goes out early, the tournament gets less interesting. People like to go watch this guy play. Let me come back. We're going to stop sharing the screen for a second just so I can kind of see where we're at with comments and what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Not many comments, guys. Not many comments. Let me know more of what you guys are thinking. Maybe you're just enjoying me going through the draw. I don't know. But there's not many comments so far on what you guys are thinking. Does that mean we're not really excited about the draw? We're just more excited to talk about if Djokovic is going to play or not? That always gets a lot of comments. We're talking tennis now, and barely anybody's weighing in. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Okay, we'll go back to the draw. We're going to stick with the draw, though, on this show. Hurkacz. If you're a Federer fan, we know how good Herbie Hurkacz is. He had a great year last year. Super athletic guy. One of my favorite serves on tour. Awesome ground stroke. Solid at the net. Really no weaknesses. Big guy. Top 10 player now. Definitely dangerous. If he gets on a roll, he can go through and get very, very far. And anybody that he's on the other side of the net against, he can pretty match up. He can match up with them on almost everything. Power, hitting ability, talent-wise. He's got it all. Another guy you don't want to see go out early. Duckworth and Mannarino, two people that very, very good players that, in my mind, let me know what you guys think, not really exciting to go watch turn on TV. People don't really get excited to watch these guys play. Now, this is a Cinderella story. Karatsev, okay, 18th seed. If you guys don't know, this is like, if you've ever seen the movie The Natural, it's kind of like that. Like, this guy was nowhere. His whole career couldn't win challenger matches. How do you go from not winning matches on the challenger tour all the way up to age 27, and now you're 18 in the world, and you totally deserve to be there? Because, you know, it wasn't just a couple of big wins that he had. He went toe-to-toe with Djokovic on clay. He was consistently beating great players. And I think he's even in the finals of a warm-up tournament right now. B2 wants to come up here and say hello. So let's bring B2 into the mix. Let's see if he's got any calls on this. So we're going to remove this for a second. Say hello to B2, everybody. This is my buddy, my partner in crime. He's an amazing dog and buddy. If you have a dog, you know how awesome dogs are. And B2, what do you think? Who do you pick? First of all, is Djokovic going to play? Is Djokovic going to be in the tournament? It looks like he's thinking about it. He doesn't quite know. If Djokovic doesn't play, who do you pick to win? He picks Medvedev. If Djokovic doesn't play, he's going to pick Medvedev. Okay. Let's see if we can get him to go over on his little chair. Yes. Okay. All right. We're going to go back to the draw. And so Karatsev, another play. I think a lot of people, what's not to like about Karatsev? Just totally earned his right. Did it the hard way. He was about to quit. Here's the cool thing. He's 27 years old. He was about to quit tennis on the tour. And he called this one coach. He's like, I want to give it one more try. I think I need you to coach me. I think you're the guy. And they worked. And magic happened. And now he's the 18th player in the world. Another player that could go far in the tournament that people really want to see. The more he wins, the better it is for tennis. Karen Khachanov, a head scratcher for me, 28 in the world, playing Kudla. For a while I thought this guy could easily continue to be top 8, top 6, top 5. Seems like he works really hard. Big game, big forehand. A little unorthodox, I guess, the way he goes about it. And there's something that he just can't seem to put it together to, in my mind, reach his true potential as a tennis player. I think he should be higher than the 28th seed, but, numbers don't lie. This is the results he typically gets. He can be hot. He can be cold. He hasn't really done anything dangerous in a while. Kokkinakis, awesome Aussie. It'd be neat to see him do well. Super talented, ton of injuries. Again, probably not going to do much. This is the most exciting thing. I think Rafa's back. He just is such a great ambassador to the sport. People love him. I love him. Exciting to watch. Always delivers. So coming in at number 6 seed, one of the greatest players of all time. It's basically Rafa, Roger, Novak, 3 greatest players of all time. Pick your favorite. I would love to see Rafa go deep. Obviously, the first couple of rounds, there's going to be some question marks. How is he feeling the ball? How is his stamina? How is the confidence in his shots and in his injuries? Hopefully he is playing mostly pain-free. I don't think you ever truly play pain-free, especially at his age. But hopefully it's about as good as he's going to be able to get at this age. And he can go deep. I would absolutely love to see him win the Australian Open. He hasn't done it since 2009. But he has come close a couple times getting to the finals, semifinals, quarterfinals. So he certainly can play very well at the Australian Open. Love to see Rafa win. Look for him to go deep. Another guy who kind of plays like Rafa and trains at the Rafa Academy is Casper Ruudeboy, and the 8th seed. So he's really worked his way up and up and up. He's been slowly and steadily climbing like one of those stocks you love to buy, and I would love to see him do very well. Seppi, great talent, been on the tour for a long time. No, not enough big weapons. I don't think people are very excited. Now, Musetti did awesome in the smaller tournaments last year, kind of after the Australian Open. I think he did really well at Acapulco. And I think this one, Musetti and Alcaraz kind of started to make a name for themselves. And Tsitsipas is playing great. So Musetti, if you've never seen him play, is super exciting to watch play. A lot of flair. People love to watch the one-handed backhand. And he's playing Demonauer in the first round. This is a great first round matchup. This is a match you want to be in front of the television when this comes on, because Demonauer is super exciting to watch too. Lots of flash, big time hustler, moves like a fly around the court versus Mr. Style here. So let me know who you guys think would win this match. I'm going to go with Demonauer. He's playing in front of the Aussie fans. And Musetti has seemed to cooled off a lot. Okay, we're getting into some exciting matches now. Basilashvili, this guy, again, if you're not really a tennis fan, you probably don't know much about this guy, but this guy had a ton of wins last year. That's why he's a 21 seed. Had a great year. Beat Federer in one of Federer's comeback matches. I think it was like in Dubai or something like that. Great player, journeyman, worked his way up the rankings. Solid on both sides, huge forehand. Going to play Andy Murray, who I don't know how Andy Murray keeps becoming a wild card, because it seems like every time I watch him lately, he's winning matches. So how is his ranking not in the top 120 yet? I don't know why his ranking is still not in the top 100. It's weird to me, because he's been back for a while and he's beaten a lot of players. What do you have to do to break into the top 100? Anyway, because he is Sir Andy Murray, he's gotten a wild card. And I think he's playing good enough tennis, has enough experience to where he is going to win his first round. I just worry about Andy match in and match out. He claims that his hip is better. He claims that he's feeling good. We know he works super hard in his fitness. But it still looks to me like he labors around the court a lot. I don't know what you guys think. To me, it looks like Murray struggles with his movement. It's certainly nowhere near what it was, but his heart is bigger than it ever was, and he's crafty. He knows how to win for sure. He's beaten a lot of great players since he's come back. So I would love to see Andy Murray win that match, go as far as his body will let him go. Obviously, the longer like somebody Andy Murray stays in the tournament, not Bashavili, people are going to be turned on the TV. So him winning is better for tennis. Really want to see the marquee names win, okay? Which lots of times, they've let us down. Steve Johnson versus Thompson. Who cares? No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. Sinner, another one that people are excited about. He's the 11th seed. Young guy, again, showing a lot of talent. I think, though, this year, it's time. I think up until this year, Sinner's been given the look at the talent, look at the potential. He's going to be a Grand Slam winner someday. Now, I think this is his third year on the tour. It's time, in my mind, to start putting up or shutting up Sinner. I think you've got to go deep in some majors, deep. He's done well at smaller tournaments. He can go toe-to-toe with anybody. Yet to go really seriously deep, you're like, this guy's going to maybe win it this year. Love to see Sinner do that. I think a lot of people who know tennis would love to see Sinner do this. He's got the first round matchup is tough. De Sousa has been around for a long time. He's a tough player. He could give Sinner some trouble if Sinner goes out there not feeling the ball, a little nervous for your first round. Batista Agut, another exciting player, but this kind of always is kind of at this 10 to 15 to 20 ranking. I don't really see him going far. Can you believe Philip Kohlschreiber is still in the main draw of a major? That's what I find so amazing about the tour is lots of players, lots of people, lots of fans. We look at Federer, Djokovic, Nadal, like they're freaks. They're amazing. They're unbelievable. They are. But someone like Kohlschreiber is also a freak of nature. To be able to stay on the tour as long as he has and consistently be in the top 100, top 50, sometimes top 20. I think he might have sniffed the top 10 for a little while. He's played everybody. He's beaten everybody. This guy to still be playing out there on the tour is amazing, but I don't see him going very far. Frances Tiafoe had a great U.S. Open. Another person, especially here in the United States, we thought Tiafoe might have been our next answer to somebody serious who could get in the top 10. Doesn't seem to be that type of player. Doesn't seem to be that, he's got a lot of passion. Another one that fans love. He can fire up the fans like nobody else. He can hit shots. He's super exciting to see play. We'd love to see him go far, especially as an American. Will he do it? Please, Francis, get to the second week. The tennis world would love it. But I don't see him winning the tournament or anything like that. Taylor Fritz, 20th seed. Great comeback story. Been through a ton of injuries. Worked hard. Now he's in the top 20 in the world. Again, though, it seems when the majors come about, he's pretty good in those 250, even 500 tournaments. You get him in the majors. Doesn't seem to really be a serious threat. So until he does it, I'm not going to be watching him too closely. Grigor Dimitrov, another one people love. Love Grigor. What a great personality. What a great tennis player. A lot of flash. I think it was it Indian Wells he did so well at? He just had a big tournament, towards the end of 2021. 26 seed. That's nothing to sneeze at, especially at his age. So still playing solid tennis on the tour. Again, the more he can win matches, people love it. Don't look at him as a big threat. This is just a waste, this guy. Bernard Paire, so fun to watch, but total head case, which is a reason why we love him, but he'll be out within 3 rounds. He's a clown, in my mind, for a pro tennis player. It's all relative, right? If you're on the tour, you're definitely doing something right. Okay, Tsitsipas. This is a big question mark. At one point last year, after the Australian Open, leading all the way to the French Open, culminating at the French Open, getting to the finals, getting up 2-0 against Djokovic. It looked like he was going to be somebody to break through and finally beat the big three. Couldn't do it. After that, he said, I realized in the final, you have to win 3 sets, not 2 sets. And, he's amazing, but the second half of the year, a lot of things happened to him. He had the bathroom break controversies. I think that definitely weighed on him mentally. Even his coach, Patrick Martucolo, if I'm saying that right, Serena's coach. Now he pretty much coaches half the tour. He said, look, it's not right what you guys are doing with this kid. He's doing what's within the rules. Now they basically made a bathroom break rule. There's like a new time limit to going to the bathroom. And there was even a player on the court made fun of it, said, oh, this is the new Tsitsipas rule. So Tsitsipas faced a lot of controversy, maybe got tired last year. I'm not sure if there was an injury, but certainly didn't have a great finish to 2021. We'll see if he can pick it up at the Australian Open. Another player that I think the longer you're in the draw, you love it. How deep do you think he can go? All right, I'm going to come back to check out your comments. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Okay. Will a lucky loser take Novak's place if he doesn't play? I think if there's time, they probably will put in a lucky loser. Or I don't know if or the other guy just gets a walkover. Why is the tournament mostly ESPN and not regular ESPN? Oh, ESPN Plus. Never had that before. Maybe because tennis is not as popular anymore. Hopefully pickleball is not going to start beating us out in the TV ratings. And then it's time to really hit the panic button. Latest part of the blockbuster, the terminal Novak, Australia not open. Is there any new news on this? I don't know. I'm going to go back to the draw. We're almost done the men's draw. Rublev, another exciting player. Love this guy. Got to watch him in Cincinnati a lot. Huge forehand. My thing with him is it looks like he always plays at one speed, which is exciting. It's all out at 100 miles an hour all the time. But I think that he doesn't have enough gears, it seems like, to figure out how to win over 2 weeks. I think there's a dimension that he seems to be missing to win a major. Again, does very well at 250s, 500s, even Masters 1000s. Seems like he has trouble being a legit, serious threat 3 out of 5 sets, especially when he goes toe-to-toe against some heavyweights. It seems like there's just not enough there in his game. Certainly the power is there, but it seems like, he needs to add more variety to his game. There's something missing that is keeping him from getting to the very, very, very top. Obviously, being the 5th seed, he's racked up a ton of wins, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's ever been a serious threat. Now, Marion Schillich, this is interesting. 27th seed. Don't let that number fool you. This guy can hibernate for years and just start feeling the ball and go deep and get to the finals of an Australian Open, which he's done. Get to the finals of a Wimbledon, which he's done. Win the U.S. Open, which he's done. And it always is the same pattern. You forget about him, and then he makes you remember him. So, you can't just say, oh, Schillich is old. Schillich is 27th seed. He's not a threat. I think he beat, was it Rafa he beat? No, Tsitsipas beat him last year, and amazing. He was down 2 sets. Tsitsipas came back and won in 5 sets. But I think the year before that, Schillich beat Nadal in the quarterfinals, if I'm remembering correctly, and Nadal was a little banged up. This is another fun matchup if you love tennis. 2 small giants, if you will. They Goffin and Evans, Dirty Dan Evans, as Matt Bradshaw likes to say from Coffee Break Tennis. He's worked super hard. Wow. Come back from the injury, and he's 24th seed. That's pretty awesome. And this guy's used to being a top 20 seed. So, he's certainly not going to be intimidated by Dan Evans. This might be he might be super excited for this match. They're both very fun to watch. A lot of contrast because you got the one-handed backhand versus the two-handed backhand, a lot of slice, a lot of coming to the net, a lot of counter-punching. So this match should be very fun to watch. I bet you're going to get a ton of great rallies too, because even though Dan Evans likes to be aggressive and come to the net, he's not big enough to just bring it to you in one shot. He usually has to set up the points. So it's not like he could be a big power serve and volley or a huge serve +1 player. So he usually, with a lot of variety, sets up the points and tries to find a way to get to the net and finish points off. Goffin, the opposite. He likes to just kind of like stay back there, see what you got to hit him with. He can respond to pretty much any shot, absorb pace very well, pass you easily. Like this is going to be fun. So hopefully you can watch that. Nothing very exciting here. Felix Auger-Aliassime, top 10 player in the world now. A lot of people, when he first came out, thought this is a guy who's got it all, including myself. I mean, look at the serve. Look at the forehand. Look at the back. If you're just looking at every shot individually, technically, it's just beautiful. He's fast around the court. There seems to be, again, and he's winning more and more, and he's getting in some big matches, but it does seem that we do see wheels fall off the bus in big moments still, double faulting, shanking, just the head just not quite right yet. This year is, again, another big year, kind of like for Sinner. I think that Felix Auger-Aliassime has got to make a breakthrough. He's got to be there either every single major, getting in the top, 8, or he's got to win one to really keep building his confidence and give him the chance to reach his potential. I think if you look at his game, he certainly has the potential to be top 5. He certainly has the potential to hold up a major trophy, but we don't know. We don't know until he does it. This guy could be in the second week. He could lose first round. This is how I feel about him. Diego Schwartzman, maybe pound for pound. He's going to play Krajinovic, and pound for pound, number 13 seed. I mean, he always, everything he gets, he deserves. He works so hard. Big height disadvantage every time he's going into the match. But what's kind of interesting? We've seen him take it to Novak Djokovic. We've seen him take it to Rafael Nadal. We've seen him take it to everybody. Maybe pound for pound. Let me know what you guys think. Pound for pound, he might be the best player on the tour. When you look at his athletic, what he's been given with height, I mean, he makes up for it in heart, speed, technique. It's awesome to watch. So I would love to see him go deep. Again, he's a crowd favorite. The further he goes, people are going to love it. Let me see here. And John Isner, big serve, certainly dangerous in the twilight of his career. This is a good first-round matchup, Humbert and Gasquet. Gasquet doesn't seem to really be a threat these days. Just kind of fun to watch. No real threat to the tournament there, I don't think. This, of course, is what everybody would love to see at some point. We're probably not going to get it. It seems the longer things go on, Nick Kyrgios disappoints more than he pleases. We've seen him do so many awesome things. He seems to get inspired at the Australian Open. We'll really find out where his fitness is, where his mind is, where his timing is. He's going to play a qualifier first round. I'm sure everybody would love to see him get through and play Medvedev. And he does like big matchups. He does like big matchups. But, I mean, Medvedev is that type of player who just makes so many balls and can handle pace. And, many years ago on clay, though Medvedev, especially many years ago, really hated clay, Kyrgios absolutely toyed with him on clay. So Kyrgios can beat Medvedev, but I mean, they've just gone in two opposite directions. Their star has gone in two opposite directions. Medvedev, you would think, is not going to lose to Kyrgios, but it would be awesome to see these two match up in the second round, have a great match. But Medvedev, and I would rather see Medvedev win that match. Like, it'd be fun for to see Kyrgios beat Medvedev for one match, but we know if he beats Medvedev, he'll lose a match or two later. He'll be like, all right, mate, came here to do what I did. I proved I could beat the best in the world still, and now I'm going to go party. He'll lose in a match or two. So for the good of the tournament, Medvedev needs to dispose of Kyrgios and keep going through so we can get some really big matches in the second week of the tournament so people keep watching the tournament all the way through. So there you go. That is the men's draw. And I think I was going to do the ladies draw, but you know what? I think I'm going to do the ladies draw on another live stream because it took a lot longer to go through that than I thought. Let's see. Ollie's here. The best players can win. They don't have their A game. Rublev doesn't have that ability. That's very true. No B game. I agree. Kyrgios might play one or two matches, then walk over. Awesome impression of Kyrgios. Haha. Thank you. What I'm going to do, though, is just talk a little bit about the women. But we're not going to go through the whole draw because I feel like this live stream is going on pretty long here. And I will be back another time with the women's draw. But I am going to at least talk about some of the matches I'm excited about. And who knows, if I get on a roll, I might stay around for the whole women's draw. But my voice is getting tired. Let's see here. Let me click here. I'll bring up the screen when I get to it. Women's singles. I'm excited about the women's draw. Very, very excited. Maybe more excited about the women's draw than the men's draw, especially if Djokovic isn't playing. So let me go here. We're going to add to the stream. We're going to go here. Barty. Come on, Barty. Let's go party. We know that the Aussies would obviously love to see her go far. It looks like she's got a pretty good path. Not many threats there. Camilla Gorgie. Gorgeous Gorgie. I don't know what I'm saying. Or Georgie. It's Georgie, right? Yeah, it's Georgie. How can I mess that up? She's one of my favorites for obvious reasons. Benchit. I love her. Great player. Osaka. Okay, so we got to stop and talk about Osaka for a second. This is such a wild card because we know Osaka's moods. We know at least the life she seems to be portraying on Instagram. It always looks like she's at a photo shoot. She's on a yacht. She's at a party. Very little videos of her training. So maybe she's just really good at playing possum and she's training her butt off behind the scenes. And she's going to be tough to beat all the way down to the 13th seed. You know, what a difference a year makes. But she obviously could beat anybody. And I think she also could go out early. You know, her dedication to the game, definitely a big question. We don't know how she's going to respond, although beginning of the year has looked very good so far for her. So you never know. Pegula, a very good player. We'll get to her more on another live stream. Sakari. Okay. Love Sakari. 5th seed. She's right where she belongs, in my opinion. Super hard worker, consistent, opposite of Osaka. This woman just loves to work, and she gets the most out of her game. Very exciting player to watch. You want to see her go far. Krejcikova, you know, to be honest, I haven't watched her play that much. 4th seed, obviously, can do big things. Not going to talk about her right now. Azarenka, 24th seed, but we know she is a gamer. And she loves big matches. She's had some big wins lately. Did amazing at the U.S. Open a couple years ago, where I think she lost to Osaka in the final. Kenin, what the heck has happened to Kenin? This is a nice first round, juicy matchup of American tennis. Kenin, again, seems to be mentally tough and then a basket case at the same time. Madison Keys always seems to be coming back on the tour with injury. Could be a fun first-round matchup. Don't know how it's going to go. Coco Gauff, 18th seed. Super young still. I think she's now 18. 18th seed, 18 in the world. Game seems to be progressing nicely. Would love to see her have a big year. And she loves to fight. And to me, it seems like she's improving in all areas of her game. Her forehand starting to look better. Badoza, great player, fun to watch, one to watch, can go far. Again, I'm going through this kind of fast. Don't worry, we're going to do a full, we'll get closer look at this either later today or tomorrow. Collins, another one I really love to watch play, 27 seed, could definitely do some damage. Let's see who else. Halep, 14th seed, coming off some injuries. We know that Halep can beat anybody on any given day and can go all the way. This, to me, is the biggest match of the first round. No question. In fact, I'm kind of upset. Now, for the first round, it's awesome that they're going to play each other. Like, definitely watch this. Maybe out of the men's and the women's draw, this is the match to watch. Sloane Stephens. People love Sloane Stephens. Emma Raducanu, I mean, come on. She's off the charts. People love her. Amazing run at the Australian Open. I mean, at the Australian Open, at the U.S. Open, and Wimbledon, too. And then she had kind of a nervous breakdown on the court, which is kind of interesting. But wow, this is a big first-round match, and you'd hate to see either one of these ladies out after one round, because these are two players that the longer they're in the tournament starts to get a lot more interesting, a lot more eyeballs on it. And I would love to see, if I have to pick, because I think overall, Raducanu at this point, Sloane Stephens has been around a long time. There's a lot more upside. I would love to see her back up the U.S. Open here at the Australian Open and just play some awesome lights out tennis and prove that she is a legit superstar contender. I'd love to see her get to the second week at the bare minimum, and I would love to see her win it. That would be amazing for tennis. I think she could become the biggest star in tennis, bar none. Bigger than all the men and the women. People love her. Watson, let's see who else. Muguruza, again, a great superstar. She could go big. I would love to see her go far. Third seed, she's worked her way back up. She's interesting. She will go get up to number 3, 2, even 1 sometimes here and there, and then just go back to 10, 11, 12, 13. So it'll be interesting to see what she does this year at the Australian Open. Okay, Swiatek. Let's see if she can back up what she did at the French Open a couple years ago. What else are we looking for? Kvitova, always dangerous. Stosur, look at that. They gave Stosur a wild card. Still trying to make it out there. She's had an amazing career. Kerber, working her way back in the game, had a solid 2021. We know that she is a gamer. She's tough, gets the most out of her game. Leylah Fernandez, another superstar in the making. We want to see Leylah Fernandez go far. We want to see her go far. She is awesome. I would love to see her and Raducanu go as far as they can. It would be amazing if they match up somehow again at this year's Australian Open. That would be fun. Sabalenka, number 2 in the world. I don't know why. She's got a big game, awesome serve, awesome forehand. I don't know why, but I don't get excited to watch her play. I just don't know why, but that's just how I feel. So the women have a lot of cool things going on in their draw. A lot of blockbuster potential matchups. Hopefully that happens. We'll take a closer look later. Let me know what you guys think of this. Come back here and we'll remove this from the screen. Let's see. No more comments, guys. No more comments. So, guys, a lot less interested in the draw than you are about talking about if Novak's going to play or not. When I talk about if Novak's going to play, the comments come flying through at a rapid pace where I can't even keep up. So it's kind of interesting what we are interested in. So we need Novak to play. That just to me sums it up. The interest that he has brought to the game with this whole thing. Definitely no part of it you can totally blame on Novak. A lot of sloppy moves in this whole thing. I think you can also blame a lot of it on the Australian Open, on the Australian government. A lot of sloppy moves too. But certainly is made for a lot of interesting talk. And I would like to see him play. That's just my 2 cents. I would like to all seen him get vaccinated, but I understand his reasoning where he might be afraid to get the vaccination. I understand that. But, I do also understand there's players like Tsitsipas saying, look, in the beginning, I was against the vaccination, but I decided that the rules are the rules. And if I want to go play in Australia and I want to go around the world and play, I need to get vaccinated. So, Novak is kind of making fools of us. So there are, it's just not cut and dry. And it certainly would have been a lot less controversial if Novak would have just gotten vaccinated. But people love controversy. All right. Get the Shot. Vincent Vega, Pulp Fiction. I don't understand that one. Anyway, guys. Oh, Get the Shot. Get the Shot. Okay, Get the Shot. Oh, Vincent Vega. Okay, I get it now. I get it. That's funny. That's good. That's good, Jim. All right, guys. Like this video up. Subscribe if you've never seen this before. We'll be talking about the Australian Open a lot. You'll also see a lot of online instruction videos from me if you actually play tennis and want to get better. Maybe after you watch this video, go watch an instruction video so you can improve your serve, your forehand, your backhand, your volley, your mental game, your physical game. That's really what I mostly do. And thanks so much for checking in.